Good evening. You're now with me, Henry Gui, for TVS Nightline. Onto the headlining stories. The federal government respects the decision by the Sarawak government to file a petition in the federal court seeking a ruling on the constitutional validity and continued applicability of several federal petroleum laws in the state. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Sabah and Sarawak Affairs, Mustafa Sakmu, says he will not comment further, citing respect for the ongoing legal proceedings.
Ya, kita hormati petition yang telah dibuat oleh Kerajaan Negeri Sarawak. Kita hormati, tapi saya fikir biarlah mahkamah yang menentukan. Saya tidak mau komen lebih, tapi saya fikir kita hormati dan biarlah mahkamah yang menentukan berdasarkan perundangan yang ada dan juga fakta yang ada.
He also announces that the Technical Committee meeting on the implementation of the MA63 Action Council, initially set for February 28, is postponed to March 2nd. Several matters remain under negotiation, including issues under Article 112D of the Federal Constitution concerning Sabah's 40% special grant claim, which are being refined at the technical level before being referred to the main committee for a decision. He assures that the government remains committed to resolving all MA63-related matters through continuous negotiations and established legal channels. The Sarawak government is stressing the importance of maintaining flexibility for children with special needs in the implementation of the new school entry age policy, which is set to take effect in 2027. State Minister for Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Dr. Sri Fatimah Abdullah, says the education approach must carefully consider every child's developmental readiness, including their physical, mental and emotional well-being.
Ya, anak-anak kita yang mempunyai disability ataupun kekurangan kurang upaya ini, adakah bagaimana undang-undangnya nanti ada ataupun peraturan untuk mereka ini yang sedia ada bagi anak-anak kita yang mempunyai disability ini? Mereka, ibu bapa boleh menghantar mereka pada umur flexibility of kalau sekarang 7 to 8 years masuk darjah 1. Tapi nanti yang kalau datang 2027 adakah flexibility yang sama juga akan diberi? Kita berharap yang flexibility yang sama juga diberi kepada anak-anak kita yang berkeperluan khas. Sekarang ini Kementerian Pendidikan masih memberi kelonggaran di mana ibu bapa mempunyai pilihan sama ada hendak menghantar anak mereka pada umur 6 tahun ini ke darjah 1 ataupun pada umur seperti sebelum ini 7 tahun. It's not, ianya belum diwajibkan. Betul? There's parents, ibu bapa masih ada pilihan.
She adds that the policy introduced by the Education Ministry has not been fully enforced, and parents still have room to assess and determine their children's readiness before starting formal schooling. The Land Custody Development Authority, or LCDA, is contributing over 1.78 million ringgit in business zakat to the Sarawak Baitul Mal Fund, or TBS. LCDA General Manager Dr. Sri Zaidi Mahdi presented the cheque to TBS General Manager Dr. Abang Muhammad Shibli Abang Muhammad Naili at an iftar ceremony earlier tonight.
The ceremony was witnessed by Sarawak Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Opek. He also distributed 25,000 ringgit in Hari Raya aid to 125 recipients from 13 villages in the Darul Hana Development Project area, each receiving 200 ringgit. The iftar event marked LCDA's 45th anniversary under the theme 45 Years of LCDA with the Community, attended by about 700 guests. Also present was Sarawak Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Ambas, along with deputy ministers, agency heads and community leaders.
Now, Sarawak Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg welcomes an offer from digital technology firm OpenMove AI Berhad to contribute its technological expertise in advancing the state's digital transformation agenda. Its chairman, Tengku Muhammad Rizam Tengku Abdul Aziz, announced this after paying a courtesy call on the Premier at Satria Pertiwi complex earlier today. He says the meeting paves the way for further discussions with government agencies to identify and refine potential areas of strategic collaboration.
Kami telah mendapat nasihat daripada Premier untuk kita bincang lebih lanjut lagi dengan agensi-agensi dan ada possibility juga untuk kita dapat bekerjasama dengan agensi-agensi di Kerajaan Negeri Sarawak dalam agenda transformasi mereka.
He adds that the company sees strong potential to contribute its expertise across several aspects of Sarawak's transformation agenda, noting that all its technological capabilities are developed by local talent.
Dan kami di OpenMove AI berpandangan juga bahawa ada peluang untuk kami memberi khidmat kami berdasarkan kepakaran kami dalam beberapa aspek aktiviti digital transformasi dan berkongsi bersama, di mana tawaran kami ialah semua usaha-usaha kami ini adalah hasil daripada orang tempatan.
The government is forming a technical working group to stabilize prices of goods in Sabah, Sarawak and the Federal Territory of Labuan following logistical challenges and high transportation costs. Deputy Minister of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living, Dr. Fauzia Saleh says intervention measures are carried out based on price data collected by enforcement officers on the ground.
Kita juga akui bahawa cabaran yang besar, cabaran yang utama untuk kawasan pendalaman, terutamanya Sabah dan Sarawak, ialah cabaran logistik serta juga kos pengangkutan. Ya, jadi kita sudah pun melaksanakan program pengedaran barang perlu di seluruh negara, terutamanya di Sabah dan Sarawak. Sabah ada 608 pos dan di Sarawak ada 820 pos untuk pengedaran barang perlu, point of sales, ya, untuk memastikan bahawa harga barang ini kita kekalkan stabil.
She adds that the intervention aims to improve efficiency and develop a comprehensive action plan to strengthen logistics cost structures and enhance the supply chain. The U.S. Department of Justice says all of the required Epstein files have been released, but lawmakers argue that the heavily redacted documents defend the alleged perpetrators and not the victims. In this special report, RT correspondent Donald Corter takes a look at the criticism and controversy overshadowing the probe.
Torture video, a CIA Guantanamo airliner, and a whole lot of harassment for Pam Bondi. The Epstein file releases aren't just some emails between the world's most notorious pedophile and powerful associates. They reveal a string of strange events that you'd think would have been enough to make alarm bells go off for the Federal Bureau of Investigation to, investigate. Take the CIA's notorious torture plane used to transport victims of extrajudicial arrests to Guantanamo Bay. Turns out Jeffrey Epstein's pilot was talking to his boss about it.
Jeffrey, not sure if the Boeing business jet serial number would give us issue flying in the Middle East. Past history of owners of Josh's Boeing business jet was the CIA in 2007. I think a previous N number indicates N300 Northern P was used as a CIA plane to transport prisoners to Guantanamo Bay. It was called a torture plane. See this link.
The Boeing 737's registration number lines up with the CIA's torture plane, which in 2007 the EU wrote about in its resolution criticizing the CIA's alleged use of Europe to transport detainees. Epstein even considered buying the aircraft until he found out who it previously belonged to. and implied that fact put a serious dent in the asking price.
Tell Josh that serial number makes it worth less than 18.
Jeffrey, do you approve of this email to Josh? Josh, are you familiar with the original owner of N720mm when it was known as N313P? See this link? If so, it's worth less than $18 million with a serial number traced. Not sure how the Middle East airports would feel about this serial number upon arrival. Is this correct information? Thanks, Larry.
Okay.
The FBI had these emails, but it looks like they didn't see a reason to dig deeper into the connection between former CIA property and a convicted billionaire pedophile. It's not the only irregularity that seems to have escaped them either. Newly released emails also shed light on correspondence between Epstein and Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, the now former chairman of a global network of logistics companies called DP World. In April of 2009, Epstein messaged this powerful international businessman from jail saying that he loved the torture video.
Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video.
Interestingly enough, bin Sulayem's name was first redacted in the email. When U.S. Congressman Thomas Massie saw the unredacted version, he only told people that he was a sultan. It was only after the U.S. Deputy Attorney General brought attention to a separate, uncensored file that people finally figured out who this guy actually is. Why protect the identity of someone talking to a pedophile about a torture video? And why no investigation? Pam Bondi had her feet held to the fire on both of those accounts.
Here behind me is one example of an email from Epstein to a man whose name was redacted. The email reads, quote, "Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video." Only after members of Congress demanded that we see the unredacted files did the world learn the name of this individual, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, the chairman and CEO of a company that had financial ties to President Trump's business and personal ties to Trump's advisor, Steve Bannon.
You sat before Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General Bondi.
No, can I finish my answer?
No, I'm going to reclaim my time because I asked you a specific question that I would like you to answer, which is, will you turn to the survivors? This is not about anybody that came before you. It is about you taking responsibility for your Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to ask the questions, the witness gets to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
That's
respond.
not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she doesn't like the answer. So,
Mr. Chairman,
why
I have asked
didn't she ask Merrick Garland this?
I am reclaiming my time, and when I reclaim my time, it is
Mr. Chairman, the gentleman is reclaiming
I'm not going to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
They had all these emails for all these years, and the FBI has yet to open any new cases regarding associations with Epstein that these messages expose. It's as if these revelations are being treated only as tools in political blame games. It makes one wonder what exactly law enforcement is doing with this information and if justice will ever be served.
Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Hanigui. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.